Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Fazan Ali Softwarewala and I'm a level 1 student at Rehan School Islamabad campus. So today I'm here with the new Maya. So our today's Maya topic is about unique ways to start writing stories. So let's start our today's Maya. First of all, call the Maya for some questions.
Hiya.
So Maya, my first question from you is why is the beginning of a story so important? So please give me very interesting answer on this topic. So let's
The opening of a story is everything. It's not just about setting the scene, it's about making a promise of what's to come, what questions will be answered, what emotional territory you'll explore together. Think of it like meeting someone new. Those first few seconds decide if you want to keep listening. A weak start, they've likely lost you already. A strong one, you're instantly invested, curious about what happens next. Great beginnings grab attention, establish tone, conflict, and often introduce the core question of the story, the thing that you need to find out. It's the bait that hooks the reader. But it's also a subtle form of building. A good opening says, I know, and I'll be there. What do you think so far? Pretty dense to just drop on someone. I usually try to read
so
the room
Maya, my next
better. Want
you
me
is
to?
what makes a story opening memorable? Please give me very interesting answer on this.
That was way more academic than conversational. Um, Brown usually can't shake or the chase is wrong. Stuff that makes it.
Network issues, I again call the Maya. Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is Maya.
Hey, hey.
My question from you is how do many write struggle write this sentence? So please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start.
That's a tricky one. The transcription is pretty garbled there. Are you asking about how to write the sentence? My question from you is, how do you write the sentence? Or are you trying to? I'm not following what you're getting at here. What were you trying to ask about writing? It sounds like you were asking about the sentence, my question from US, but then it got cut off.
But that's really bad answer. That's really bad answer, Maya. Man, that's really bad
Um,
answer. Okay, should a story always start the beginning of events? And how can I make readers curious from the first line? Please give me answer on this question. Let's start your answer, Maya.
oh, okay. Now I see what you were getting at. Yeah, that transcription was way off. Um, Sorry for the confusion there. So the question is about story openings. Are you asking if stories always have to start chronologically? Actually, no, absolutely not. Great stories almost never start at the very beginning of the timeline. Think about it. Life happens in this messy, non-linear way, right? Stories should reflect that. The smartest openings skip ahead to something interesting, then use flashbacks or hints to fill in the background. As for curiosity from the first line, that's where it gets really fun. Writers do a bunch of things. 1. Throw you into the middle of action. 2. Hint at something mysterious that's been broken. 3. Ask a question that's impossible not to answer. 4. Show you someone at their worst or best moment. 5. Drop a line that immediately makes you question everything. Does that make sense? A good opener isn't about telling you everything at once. It's about teasing you with just enough to make you beg for more.
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is that what does it mean to start a story in the middle? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start.
All right, buckle up. You want a long one? Let's dive deep into in medias res, which is what we call starting a story mid action. Basically, instead of beginning it once upon a time, you're dropping the reader right into the most compelling moment, maybe a fight, an argument, a disaster already in progress, a strange discovery. It's about instantly creating momentum and intrigue by showing, not telling. See, the human brain naturally asks, how did we get here? You give someone context when you drop readers into chaos, but you are also giving them incentive to keep reading to fill in the story timeline. The story's tension comes first, then the reveal of how the hero got into the mess. This builds anticipation in the reader. What caused them to get here? A classic example of the Odyssey, it doesn't start with Odysseus's birth. It picks up 10 years into his journey home from the Trojan War, with him already in deep trouble with Poseidon. Or think of a crime drama. Rarely do they show you days of character building before the murder happens. You jump right into the aftermath, the investigation already underway. What makes this strategy effective is that it cuts straight to the heart of the story's conflict. It implies everything that came before matters because it brought the story to this key event. It instantly creates stakes by telling readers that this current action has consequences. Think about it this way. Boring starts are like walking into someone's kitchen while they're making toast. Starting mid-action is like walking in right as they're putting out a grease fire. Which grabs your attention more? Does that click?
That's really great. So, Maya, my next question from you is why does action grab attention quickly? Please give me answer on this question. And how can I begin with a dramatic moment? Please give me answer on this question and start.
Okay, here's that deep dive. Action grabs attention so quickly because it taps directly into our primal wiring. It's how our brains are built. For millions of years, humans survived by noticing threats instantly. A movement, a sound, something potentially dangerous, and bam, our attention locked on. That fight or flight instinct isn't just about actual danger, it's just wired in at this point. So, high stakes, someone's getting chased. In conflict with others, trying to survive, our nervous system can't help but pay attention, even in fiction. It's basic biology. Now, how to actually start with a dramatic moment instead of boring exposition? Here's a breakdown. 1. Drop in as things hit a turning point. The most dramatic moment is often one where things go wildly wrong, and people must respond. Don't show the problem, show someone solving it or reacting to it. 2. Immediately, drama, conflict. So, Don't start with once there was a calm village. Instead, start when there's an attack, disagreement, argument, crisis, etc. Think about it. What's more compelling? Watching people living ordinary lives or watching people trying to survive? Treat the stakes immediately. The stakes have to matter. The reader needs to know that something important is on the line. Maybe it's life or death. Maybe it's reputation or a love interest, but there has to be something for the character and the reader to care about. 4. Short, punchy sentences, dramatic moments benefit from short sentences. That speed conveys a sense of urgency. Let's look at examples. The clock ticked. 3 minutes remained. He fired one last email and glanced toward the door. This was it. That's tension right away. We want to know what's happening. Why is the clock ticking? What's the email for? Who's waiting by the door? It works not because you told me it's dramatic, but because you showed me drama unfolding. One of the biggest beginner mistakes is starting too early. Show what people feel when they're up against something big instead of giving me the boring setup first. Does that help?
Okay, so
You still there?
Maya, my next question from you is: can I start with dialogue instead of description? And what are examples of strong action-based opening lines? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic.
Okay, yes, absolutely. You can start with dialogue instead of description. In fact, some of the most compelling openings in literature do exactly that. Dialogue openings work because they create immediacy, conflict, and mystery right away. You're diving directly into the heat of something instead of taking the scenic route. Here's why it works so well. 1. Instant stakes. If someone's talking, it implies there's a conversation happening and often tension or a problem at hand. 2. Character revelation. Good dialogue instantly reveals personality, relationships, and subtext. 3. Intrigue. It immediately makes the reader ask, who are these people? What's their relationship? And why is this conversation happening? Strong opening lines that start with action or dialogue. 1. The bullet started before I could process the explosion. This immediately throws you into chaos, raising tons of questions. 2. I can't promise you safety, she said, but I can offer you passage. That single line sparks curiosity. Who is this woman? Who is she talking to? And what passage is being offered? 3. Run. Now. There's no time to explain. Bam. Immediate tension, urgency, and questions. 4. He hadn't seen her in 10 years, and she looked exactly as he'd remembered. Furious. A mix of conflict, character introduction, and mystery. 5. The sky cracked open with lightning just as I turned 30. Unexpected timing combines with intense imagery to pull you in. A key takeaway: avoid small talk in openings. Start with a moment of tension or mystery. Do you want to explore any of these openings in more detail?
Okay, so
You
Maya,
there?
my next question from you is: why do secrets make great story starters, and how can a confusion build tension? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic. Let's start to answer my.
Mm, all right, let's dive into why secrets are story gold and how to build that tension. Secrets are amazing story starters because they tap into two fundamental human drives: curiosity and the need to know what people are, how to solve mysteries, unseen motives, and the feeling there's something more going on beneath the surface. That said, secrets, cavity. People hide things for a reason. It means something at stake. Relationships, reputations, lives even. When you open with a secret, you immediately hook readers by making them ask, what's the secret? Who's keeping it? What will happen when the truth comes out? To build that tension after you've established the secret, you layer, think of it like adding bricks to a wall. 1. Slow reveals. Don't dump the whole secret once. Start with hints, coded language, fragmented scenes. You give readers pieces, but make them work to assemble the puzzle. 2. Stakes rise as truth gets closer. What was at stake at the beginning gets more serious. The closer the characters get to the truth, the bigger the fallout becomes. 3. Misinformation and red herrings. You can't have tension without uncertainty. Introduce false leads that make the reader believe one thing, only to change course later. 4. Keep the source of the secret obscured. Who is protecting the secret? Why? What's their motivation? The identity of the keeper is often as compelling as the secret itself. 5. Show the effects before the cause. Sometimes the best way to build tension is to show the consequences of the secret first, before the secret itself is revealed. Internal turmoil. The character holding the secret has to be internally conflicted. Are they doing the right thing? Is the secret too big? This adds a layer of psychological tension. So here's how you can craft that secret-based tension. Start with the secret hanging heavy in the air. Hint at it in dialogue. Use suspicious behavior from characters or show the aftermath of its existence. And the trick is to make the reader feel like they're discovering this secret alongside the characters. Make that tension so high they need to know what's going on. Make sense? Everything
Okay,
okay? Still
so
there?
Maya, my next question from you is: should the reader know the secret immediately, and how do I reveal information slowly? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic.
Okay. I think you're asking, should the reader know about the secret too? And how do I reveal information slowly, right? It's a good question. The answer is both, actually. It depends on timing, you know? In the beginning, the reader should feel they're in the dark with the character who holds the secret. But as you build tension, you reveal information bit by bit to the reader, so they're right there with the character's discovery. Don't reveal it all at once. Sprinkle in details gradually, maybe one piece per chapter or major scene. The goal is to create escalating curiosity. Here's how to reveal it slowly. 1. Echoes in dialogue. Have characters subtly talk around the secret, dropping hints, making veiled comments. Dialogue can plant the idea without explaining it directly. 2. Flashbacks. Short bursts of memory reveal small chunks of backstory tied to the secret. Keep them brief so they create curiosity rather than full answers. Symbolic objects. An object associated with the secret holds power. A ring, a letter, a photo. Don't explain the object. Let it make the reader wonder what it all means. 4. Character reactions. Show the impact on characters. A flinch, a hesitation, a refusal to discuss something. 5. Foreshadowing. Make subtle predictions through clues, symbolism, or ambiguous statements. 6. Misdirection. Lead readers down the wrong path before circling back to the truth. Then introduce more information that forces them to reevaluate earlier pieces. The pacing of these reveals should get faster as the story reaches its climax. Each revelation should make the suspense even greater. The final reveal of the entire secret should be massive. Everything comes together in a single moment that transforms how readers view the whole story. Does that help?
Okay, so Maya, my next question from you is: what the difference between mystery and confusion, and how can a question who got reader? Please give me very interesting.
Good question. Like, they're often tangled up, but there's a key difference between mystery and suspense. Both work by keeping readers engaged, but they do it in different ways. Mystery relies on asking questions you want solved. The reader joins the investigation alongside the protagonist and gets clues and red herrings. Eventually, you reveal the full picture and the puzzle clicks into place. It's what happened or who did it. The emphasis is on gathering clues and solving the puzzle. Often retrospectively, conversation is more about the journey of discovery itself rather than the payoff moment. It plays on fear and uncertainty. The readers know something bad could happen, and they're waiting for the shoes to drop. Think of suspense as the ticking clock, the loaded gun, or the character walking down a dark hallway. In conversation, the reader knows more than the characters do. They're constantly thinking, don't go in there, or they're making a mistake. The emphasis isn't on solving something, but on what will happen next. So break it down. Mystery 1 asks what happened or who did it. 2. Readers solve puzzles alongside the protagonist. 3. Focus on discovery and deduction. Conversation 1 asks what will happen next. 2. Readers know more than the characters. 3. Focus on fear, dread, uncertainty. Both can create powerful storytelling, and great stories can use both at once. But understanding their core differences helps you pace each technique better.
Okay, so my next question from you is
Still
to
with me?
choose the question we answer right away, and what kinds of questions spark curiosity. Please give me answer on this question. Let's start.
I think you're asking, what kinds of questions should I be asking you? That you're already asking excellent questions. You're focused on the craft of storytelling, how to build tension, start stories, handle secrets. Keep going with that. 1, character creation. What makes a compelling protagonist? How do you create characters with believable motives? 2, show, don't tell. How do you show instead of just describing what's happening? 3, point of view. How does choosing a different viewpoint character affect how your story plays out? 4, dialogue. I know we've touched on it, but really diving deep into what makes dialogue effective is important. 5, world building. If you're building a fictional world, how do you keep it consistent and compelling? You clearly have the instincts, you're thinking about the right core concepts.
So my next question from you is that can
You
rhetorical
good?
question work in fiction, and how does question create suspense? Please give me very interesting answer on this topic.
Okay, good question. Yes, theoretical questions can absolutely work in fiction, and actually, they're a powerful tool for creating suspense when used right. Let me explain. What I mean by theoretical questions is things that aren't about immediate plot events, not where's the bomb, but more like if you could change one thing about your past, what would it be? Or what if everything you believed about your family was a lie? These aren't practical, they're about character beliefs, deeper truths, or what ifs. They work for a few reasons. First, theoreticals reveal character deeply. When someone ponders over them, you see what's really important to them, what they agonize over, what do they consider unthinkable to change. That tells you so much. Second, they suggest unspoken tensions. The fact that the protagonist is thinking about these things means there's something simmering beneath the surface. It raises questions in the reader. Why are they thinking this way now? What's triggering this thought experiment? Third, They can build suspense by foreshadowing. The answers to these theoreticals may actually foretell where the story is heading. Maybe the character saying they'd never change a thing actually hides a secret truth about wanting to erase a critical error from their past. As for creating suspense, here's how it works. 1. Timing. Drop theoreticals at crucial moments, right before a big event, or when characters are making a crucial choice. The timing adds weight to the musings. Interruption. Characters can interrupt each other. What if? Don't say that. That creates dramatic tension. 3. Contrast. Juxtapose the theoretical question with a specific choice. He wished he could change the argument with his brother, but there wasn't time for regrets. 4. Echoes. Have the answers to theoreticals ripple throughout the story. Revisit these musings when things get tough or the character makes a hard decision. The real trick, your readers the answer, your drop crumbs to help your readers figure it out on their own. Does that click?
Okay, so this was our Maya. I hope you like it. I'm into the new Maya next topic. Think and laugh is Pakistan.
Hey there.